In 1921, there was a place in America so successful, so powerful. They called it Black Wall Street. It wasn't just a neighborhood, it was a symbol of independence, of wealth, of what was possible, even in a country built to hold it back. And in less than 24 hours, it was gone. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, just north of the railroad tracks, there was a community called Greenwood, and it was thriving. More than 600 Black-owned businesses, doctors, lawyers, teachers, hotels filled with travelers, restaurants packed at night, a movie theater that showed the latest films. Money didn't just pass through Greenwood, it stayed there. Circulating, growing, building something powerful. For Black families living under segregation, this wasn't just success, this was freedom. But success doesn't go unnoticed. And in 1921, Greenwood was impossible to ignore. Tulsa was divided, Black on one side, white on the other. And while Greenwood flourished, resentment grew. Because in a time where Black Americans were expected to struggle, Greenwood didn't. It succeeded. And for some, that was a problem. All it would take was a spark. On May 30th, 1921, a 19-year-old Black man named Dick Rowland walked into an elevator. Inside was a young white woman, Sarah Page. Moments later, a scream. No one knows exactly what happened. Some say he tripped. Others say he grabbed her arm to steady himself. But the truth never really mattered. Because by the next morning, the story had already been decided. A newspaper headline spread across Tulsa. A Black man assaults a white woman. And just like that, everything began to shift. By evening, a crowd had formed outside the courthouse. At first, just a few men, standing, watching. But as the hours passed, more arrived. Cars pulled up, doors slammed, voices grew louder. Hundreds of white residents gathered, some demanding one thing: lynch him. Inside Greenwood, the news spread quickly. People whispered from house to house, "They're going to kill him." And this time, the community made a decision. They wouldn't let it happen. A group of armed Black men, many of them World War I veterans, walked toward the courthouse, not to start a fight, but to stop one. They stood face to face with the crowd. Tension filled the air, thick, heavy, like something was about to break. For a moment, everything stood still. Then, a voice shouted. Another answered. A man stepped forward, a weapon raised, and then a single gunshot. That shot changed everything. The crowd exploded. Chaos erupted. Gunfire echoed through the streets, and within moments, the violence spread. This wasn't random. This wasn't contained. This was the beginning of something far worse. Through the night, thousands of white residents moved into Greenwood. They looted homes. They burned businesses. They shot people in the streets. Flames climbed into the sky, lighting the night like daylight. Families ran, some barefoot, some carrying children, some with nothing at all. A mother pulled her son through smoke-filled streets, trying to breathe, trying to survive. Gunshots echoed in the distance. Windows shattered. Buildings collapsed. And above it all, eyewitnesses will later report something even more shocking. Planes flying low over Greenwood, dropping fire onto the city below. Block by block, Greenwood was destroyed. By sunrise, it was over. What had once been one of the most prosperous Black communities in America was now ash. 35 city blocks gone. Over 1,000 homes destroyed. Hundreds of people killed. Thousands left with nothing. But what happened next may be even more disturbing. No one was held accountable. No justice was served. Insurance claims were denied. Records disappeared. And over time, the story itself was buried. For decades, this wasn't taught in schools. It wasn't discussed. It wasn't acknowledged. It was erased. An entire community built from resilience, destroyed in a single night. Not because it failed, but because it succeeded. Black Wall Street was more than a place. It was proof of what could exist. And that made it dangerous. And for years, most people never even knew what happened until now.